Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. We're edging closer and closer and closer to the return of proper football. And the last set of games tonight, I've currently got on floating between Scotland and Wales, watching the Wales game currently as they've gone 1-0 up. But what I want to talk about tonight, I want to talk about January, because as much as we're saying that we're edging towards a return of the Premier League this weekend, we're actually edging towards the transfer window as well. And I think we have a lot of work to do. This isn't brand new news. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know. I think we've got a lot of work to do. I think we are absolutely miles behind a lot of these other squads, and I think that starts in January. Now, how much can we do in January is a completely different story, but we're going to talk about it. And today I've just said that Spurs must have options. We must have options. I see a lot of people talking about transfers. It frustrates, I'll be honest, it frustrates the life out of me. You can see who understands transfers and who doesn't. But what Spurs have got to do is we've got to have options. Now, obviously, the news in the last 24, 48 hours has all been dominated by the Semenyo news, which wasn't really new news, was it? It wasn't really new news. It was just that we found out what the actual release clause was. We all knew that he'd signed a new contract, and we all knew that Semenyo had a release clause. But now we know it's 65 million. Don't get me wrong. There's still other things we don't know. By the way, Wales have just gone 2-0 up. Brooks has just scored. So if anyone's a fan of Wales, it looks like they're about to get through to the playoffs. It wasn't new news. And what it did was it started Spurs fans going, oh my God, just pay the money, just get him. And I like that theory. I like it. And listen, I would love Semenyo as much as the next person. But we're going to talk about it tonight in a bit more detail, because are we the front runners? Would Semenyo choose Spurs over Man City and Liverpool? They're the two that we're being told are also in for Semenyo. Now, I've got no doubt in my mind whatsoever that if Semenyo was approached by Spurs and Spurs only, I have no doubt in my tiny little mind that he is going to come to Tottenham. However, we've all been around long enough to know that it doesn't quite work like that. Well, we might be favourites, or Liverpool might be, or Man City might be, but teams will come in for players at different times. So right now, bet your bottom dollar that all the clubs are going to know now what the date is, because as Ornstein said yesterday, there is a date in play as to when that release clause runs out. Now, I don't know it. It could be the 5th of January. I doubt it, but it could be the 5th. Realistically, you're probably thinking it's going to be somewhere mid-month, right? So that Bournemouth have got enough time to... Oh, by the way, Macedonia have just pulled one back. It's all getting very exciting in the Wales game. Wales 2, Macedonia 1. They pulled one back. More than likely will be mid-month, probably the 20th of January at the very latest, so that it allows Bournemouth to say, right, okay, we've sold him. Let's buy someone in. Now, of course, there's nothing to say that Semenyo's 100% going to leave in the window. Now, if that clause is met, yes, but he has to also agree to it. Now, what's to say that he turns around in January and says, yeah, I 100% want to move mid-season. Now, as fans will go, yeah, he will. I don't know. You don't know. It is what it is. And that's why when I talk about transfers, I like to keep a bit of an open mind. Too many definites are said, just do this, just do that, just give ultimatums. And I don't get suckered into this fairy tale of how people think it works. So for me, I would love to think I would love to think that Spurs have got 3 or 4 options. Now, I don't doubt that we're interested in Semenyo. I've got no doubt that that is 100% the truth. But as per the thumbnail, I mean, I put Lookman on there, I put Fofana on there, and we can talk about some other left-sided players as well. It's very obvious that we are after a left-sided wide man. Some people will tell you, well, hang on, I don't actually think Semenyo is. This is a man that can play right, left, or centrally. But the point is, I feel that we need to have options. I don't mind that we don't get our first choice because I understand the football food chain and I understand there are bigger and better options than Tottenham. Now, that might piss people off, but there are. No matter how much I want to sit here and go, we're the greatest football team in the world, are we to footballers as opposed to Spurs fans? So, for me, I think this is going to be a really interesting one. And I've got a feeling that because of the release clause, and again, I'm just going to presume the latest will be sort of mid January. I got a feeling that the first week in January, you might see a bit of a scramble. Now, in an ideal world, and let's be fair, let's go on the proviso that Spurs, City, and Liverpool are all interested in Semenyo. Right? Let's just, for the purpose of this conversation, let's just say that is true. I don't know. Let's just say it's true. If that's the case, all of those clubs will be speaking with Semenyo's agent. Like right now, they will all be speaking with Semenyo's agent. Some in more detail than others, but they'll all be finding out the information, won't they? They'll all be finding out the information. What's your client saying? Yeah. What wages is he after? Is he open to moving in January? Is he open to moving in the summer? All right. What's his wish? Is it first team football? Is it trophies? Is it going to be whoever pays him the most? Yada, 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 yada. All of these different factors. And that's why when I see, honestly, I watch these shows and people talking about transfers and I think this is not a computer game. So I think this is going to be very interesting to find out who's talked to him, what have they spoken about, what's been agreed, and what's the magic number, right? What's the magic number? Now, and I'm not saying the magic, we know the magic number is 65 million, but how is that broken down? Release clauses aren't that simple, are they? We know that. Release clauses, it's 65 million, but is that in 50 million up front? Now, probably not, but I'm just giving an example. Is it 30 million up front? Is it free? It must be in free payments of 21.5 million, whatever it is. I don't know if that adds up, 21.6 or whatever. Is it going to be 2 payments in 12 months? All of these different things that we don't know. Now, the clubs will find that out, and that will then be interesting to see, right, who's going to pay that? And then you look at, right, who needs him? Sometimes, though, it doesn't work as easy as that, right? No chance he goes Liverpool. Liverpool don't need him. We don't know that. We're not Liverpool's recruitment team. We're not the board of directors at Liverpool. We don't know what their succession plan is. We don't know that he's not wanted as their left-sided player. Maybe they've seen, okay, we've got strikers in Isak and Ekitike. Gakpo can play off the left, but we want an actual out-and-out wide man. Maybe they're going, right, this is the guy that complements. I don't know. So we're trying to throw hypotheticals, right? Hypotheticals out there. Maybe Man City. People going, nah, Man City have got loads of wingers. Maybe. Right? Right? Maybe. Man City have gone, well, okay, well, let Savio go. Bob might go. Who knows? And yeah, we do want Semenyo. So again, I think it's really important that when we say, oh, they don't need him. They don't need him. Oh, they've got him. We don't know that. We don't know that at all. And again, Sam Collins, this is not true at all. If this wasn't true, if the football food chain didn't exist, why do the best players still go to the best clubs if the football food chain doesn't exist? So this is what makes me laugh. When I see comments like this, right? When he's saying there's no such thing, think Sam Collins is not opening the brain. Think about it. Where did Caicedo go? To Chelsea, massive club, right? Where did Florian Wirtz go? Liverpool, massive club, right? Where did Cherky go? City, massive club. Players of that ilk are not joining smaller clubs. They never have. They never will, right? Now, if somebody isn't wanted by anyone else, you might get them, right? You might get them. But if they are wanted by the Cities and the Liverpools and the Arsenals, you just make it that little bit more difficult for yourself, don't you? Because now all of a sudden you're going, what can we offer that they can't? Now people will say game time. Sure. Some people will say, well, money. I don't think we can offer more money. I don't think the Chelseas and the Cities and the Liverpools and the Arsenals have any problems paying the big bucks. We've seen it. They do. They pay the big bucks. Now, whether people like it or not is a very different matter, right? Whether we like the idea that there's a football food chain, there quite simply is. We saw it in the summer. We've seen it for years and years and years. There is a football food chain, right? Let's see what my mate Sam said. Chelsea and City were by far worse than us at the time of their takeover. Yes, so Sam, you're not listening to what I'm saying, right? Yes, at the time, Chelsea were the only club that could do what they did. Think about it. What was it, 2004, 2003? Abramovich came in and he changed the game. And what he's done is he catapulted Chelsea. He catapulted Chelsea. They were a big club, but he catapulted them into being one of the biggest. And now they're one of the teams at the top of the food chain, right? The problem you've got now is all the clubs can pay these massive wages. So you have to ask, what do the players want? So if we go to a player and go, right, what is it you're after? I want to be involved in title races. Are they going to go to Spurs over Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, City? Probably not. Let's be brutally honest about this. And I know some people can't find it within themselves, but let's be brutally honest. That's what we are on this channel. We are a brutally honest channel. Players will go to those clubs. If a player is saying, right, I want to play every minute of every game, i.e. Semenyo on the left wing, you're probably going to go, yeah, I'm going to go to Spurs. But maybe Arsenal going for him. And they go, right, hang on. We've got Trossard on the left and we've got Martinelli on the left. We're not convinced that either of them are the guy. Semenyo, come in, be our guy. We don't know those conversations. If it's going to be down to money, Chelsea can pay massive. Liverpool can pay massive. Arsenal, City. There's no reason why we can't pay massive, but we've got then nothing over those clubs, have we? We've got nothing over those clubs from a trophy winning perspective, from a title challenging perspective. It's the same reason why Real Madrid get what Real Madrid want, right? So there's always, as I said, there's always one in the chat. Most people in the chat get it, but there's always one like this guy. Look, Chelsea weren't the only club. City did it in 2008. Dude, Sam, listen, for this to work, you've got to listen to what I'm saying. Chelsea were the first to do it. Then City did it. The problem is, since Chelsea and City did it, look how many trophies Chelsea and City have won. They catapulted themselves to be massive. They are now massively recognized clubs across the world of football. Spurs aren't right now. We're not that, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. So when we beat Liverpool 4-1, were we more attractive than Liverpool? You could say we were, but we offered shitty wage and no big name players come to us. Sure. Yeah, sure. I don't know what that's got to do with anything. At that time, I don't think it was about beating Liverpool 4-1. I don't think that one game means anything. Liverpool, check Man United out, right? Liverpool and Man United, it doesn't matter if they're bottom three, top three, out of every cup. Liverpool and Man United are massive brands in football. Why have Man United, in all of these last few years when they've not been great, been able to still go and lure top players? Because they are Manchester United. Liverpool, doesn't matter how bad Liverpool are, right? Liverpool will attract top money. And Ryan, bang on, thank you. I was going to come to this in a minute, but bang on, Ryan. This is the thing. So when you've got people like Sam Collins in the chat going, yada, yada, yada. Yes, absolutely. At that point, they could just go out and pay whatever they wanted. Now, teams can't because they've got to abide by PSR rules. But everyone's pretty much in the same situation. I'm not saying we won't attract any good footballers. I'm not. But I'm saying is when we go up against the big boys, who here is really, really, really confident? Because I haven't seen it. And again, this is one of those times, guys and girls, where I think to myself, we can all say it, but I need to see it. I need to see that we beat a team to a signing, a top signing. And I don't mean, oh, they were interested. I mean, Spurs and Man City went toe-to-toe, both offered the player big money, both offered the, right? And we won. I've not seen it. No one can give me a player to suggest we've seen it. When I see it, I'll start to believe it. Let me know in the chat if you think that's fair. When I see it, I'll start to believe it. When, I don't know, Spurs and Liverpool go toe-to-toe for Semenyo, and Semenyo chooses Spurs, but both clubs had offers on the table, I will believe it. I will then say, wow, we can compete. At the moment, I've never seen it with a single player. I've not seen it with a single player, and I've gone, oh, yeah, fair play. How did we convince him to join us over them? Now, there's nothing to say we can't get there. There's nothing to say we can't get there in time. And yeah, we did. We missed a massive opportunity to build back in the Poch era. We did. We missed a massive opportunity, right? I think everyone knows that. At that time, we had a real good opportunity to turn around to clubs and go, look what we've built. Look at the team we've built. We're second, third, fourth every season. We're in the Champions League every season. Look what we've built. Right? By the way, Brennan Johnson's just scored an absolute worldie. Never seen him do that in a Spurs shirt. And that's a real issue that we can't compete with them. That we didn't. That's a real issue that we didn't compete with them at that time. But the past is the past. We are where we are. And this is what we've got to deal with. So for me, bringing it back, I think that Spurs need options. Sure, Semenyo might be your number one, but he might not be obtainable. So who's your number two, your number three, your number four? And I see a lot of Spurs fans, we write off a lot of players. We do it all the time. I've seen Rashford was written off, Garnacho, Jack Grealish was written off, Locatelli, this player, that player. We don't want him. We don't want him. We don't want him. And I think we've got to start realizing what we are and how we get to where we want to be in baby steps. I would absolutely love for Tottenham to go out and be able to attract the best players. But what do you do if someone beats you to it? What do you do if you go, right, Semenyo, you're our number one target. And Semenyo says, yes, but Liverpool are my number one target. I don't know. I'm just using them, right? I don't know. I don't know. This is the interesting thing. Now, I'm seeing already in the chat people writing off players. Again, writing off good players. Writing them off. Fofana at Lyon, for example. I don't want Fofana at Lyon. I can tell who's not seen him play. I'd take Fofana. I think Fofana's a really good winger. Really good winger. He's got something like 150, 160, 170 games under his belt. Played a number of years now at the top level. He might only be, what is he, nearly 21? But he's played at a good level, right? He's broken into the Belgium team. Why wouldn't that be an option? Right? Why wouldn't that be an option for us? And I see this all the time. I heard it in the summer. Oh, Akalouche, not good enough for Spurs. This player's not good enough for Spurs. This player's not good enough for Spurs. I think we've got slight delusions of grandeur at Tottenham. If we are Man City, right? Man City can sit there and go, right, we don't want that person because we want that player at there. Sure. And you know what? It's Man City. Man City, Pep makes the phone call. Yeah, come and join me. Yeah, done. Arsenal now. Best team in the country right now. I know we hate it. Best team in the country right now. Arteta can make that phone call. Look at the players I've got. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, they're going to get those players. Liverpool. Chelsea always seem to attract them. Can we? And I think the fact that we might not be able to. Now, bear in mind, I'm not sitting here anywhere and saying, no, no, there's no chance Semenyo comes to Tottenham Hotspur. But what I am saying is we need options. We've got to have options. And we do this too much. As a fan myself, I could see it in the last 24, 48 hours. I can see that we're doing what we normally do. We had this whole thing. It's Eze. There was no one else. Eze. Right? Eze. Yeah. We're going to do that again with Semenyo, aren't we? Semenyo. I just think there's some other good players out there. There's options. There's options that we need to start looking at. At the moment, I think that Odegaard is a decent player, but not what you need at this level. But doesn't mean he won't get there. But unfortunately, see, I'm seeing it again. I can always tell. See, the same person with you. This is the sort of person who just disagrees with whatever I say. Kubo, Fofana would flop in the Premier League, small, frail, and weak. Foden's quite small and frail. David Silva wasn't he? Quite small and frail to flop in the Premier League. I hear this all the time. Saka's tiny. I hear this all the time. Right? All the time. And right, yeah, Ryan, I feel like I get it. I get it what people are saying, right? I get it. But it's this notion that everyone that's small just flopped. Everyone that's small just flopped. There's been some absolute fantastic footballers that are tiny. Right? And I feel like if we're going to do this, do you know what? I'll tell you what makes me laugh, right? Right? Is every summer I'm told how many players aren't good enough for Spurs and they go somewhere else and do better. Right? They go somewhere else and they do better, and then people are never held accountable for it because they're not on YouTube. When a player like me, when a YouTuber like me comes on and says it, people remember every opinion you have. But think about it, the people saying Marcus Rashford wasn't good enough to get into this Spurs team. Now, I'm not going to sit here and die on a hill for Marcus Rashford. But Marcus Rashford doesn't get in this Spurs 11. The bloke gets in anywhere he wants in this 11. Grealish, the same. People are going, nah, he's a drunk. Nah, he's lost his appetite. Grealish walks into this 11. People saying, oh, I'd rather Bergvall or Sarr than Conor Gallagher. You're like, really? Now, I'm just chucking out names just by way of example. The year before, people are going, nah, wouldn't want Locatelli. What? Wouldn't want Locatelli. Wouldn't want Locatelli. Cool. Okay. And by the way, it's always the same people. Look, it's people that use grammar like this, like clearly haven't learned English. Grealish's washed man stop. First of all, that's not a sentence, by the way. Grealish's washed man stop, right? There needs to be a comma in there for it to even begin to make sense, right? But Grealish isn't washed, right? But this is what we do. Please notice, guys, this is what we do. Every player isn't good enough for Tottenham. Then we complain. We need better players. Yeah, but anyone that's mentioned isn't good enough, right? Yes, I want Semenyo like the rest of you. I like Semenyo. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, oh my God, if we don't get Semenyo, oh my God, the world's going to end. Because at the beginning of the summer, I didn't hear anyone saying they wanted Semenyo. I did a video saying, this is a good player. And I was told, Semenyo, 70 million from Bournemouth. What a waste of money. 4 months later, the whole Spurs fan base, got to get Semenyo. And it's wonderful, isn't it? Hindsight is a wonderful, wonderful thing. People are doing it now with Undai of Everton. Good player. But again, it's now going to be put on that pedestal. Yeah. And then if we don't sign him, it'll be, yeah, I don't rate him anyway. So I think we've got to, I think we need to have these options. I think we need to have these options. And by the way, I can always see it's the same people every time who could disagree with anything I say. Plasma TV is another one. He thinks Solanke's the greatest striker in the world. Everybody, give this man a round of applause for the worst opinion of the night. You're not sure that Grealish is better than Odegaard. Guys and girls, it's just summed up. I mean, I don't know if this is a Spurs fan. I'm really hoping he's not with an opinion like that. But imagine thinking that Odegaard is as good as Grealish. Like this is, you got guys and girls, I'm giving you entertainment. I'm bringing you the entertainment. Here I am. Round of applause for this guy. I've seen some bad takes, but it's just insane. This is absolutely insane. Anyway. So yeah, look. So there are players. Again, people are mentioning Nusa. You've got Nusa. You've got Lookman. You've got Fofana. You've got Semenyo. I'd love to think of Yildiz. I just think that Yildiz, I feel like he's going to have much bigger options than Spurs. I know people get annoyed with that, right? I think people get annoyed with that because you say the truth about Spurs. But I'd love Yildiz. I really, really would love Yildiz. I just can't see it happening. I'd love to be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just can't see it happening. But listen, there's a lot of good footballers out there. And I just think the Spurs, we need to have options. Right? I just think we need to have options. And I'm concerned that the Semenyo thing with the fans will end up being like the Eze thing. And then if we can't get Semenyo over the line, people will go, oh, we didn't try hard enough. I feel like this is going to be a tough get. However, if we're the only club that goes in for him, living the dream. By the way, we'll beat most football clubs to his signature. But when the big boys get involved, yeah, the big boys get involved. And that is why they are the big clubs. They sit at the top table. They eat dinner at the adults table. And for anyone else to get players in front of them, you're going to have a reason. Yeah, Tom, as I said, man, I love when I watch these shows and people say this. But hey, it's fun. It just makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh. The thing is as well, when we say this, Tom, like, it's not all about the money. Listen, especially when it's a release clause. When it's a release clause, everyone who wants to speak to that player has to pay the money, of course. But it's all going to be down to, can you convince this player that Tottenham is the right destination? Can Spurs' party whoever they are, rock up to Semenyo and go, don't join Liverpool. Don't join City. And here's why. Boom, boom, boom. And make Semenyo leave that room going, yeah, actually, yeah. Because I'm not sure what that would be. I'm not sure what that would be right now. But Sam, I didn't see you saying this all summer. I didn't see you saying this in the summer. This is what I like about hindsight. Did anyone see Sam Collins, whoever this is, a new name for a troll? Did anyone see Sam Collins in the summer saying, no one fits us better than Semenyo? I didn't see anyone saying that in the summer. And this is what I love about Spurs fans. Now, no one fits us better. This notion that if you come from another league, oh, you definitely can't be good if you come from another league. So listen, options, just have the options. Lookman, Fofana, Lookman, Fofana, Semenyo, have the options. Not, oh, we tried, we'll have to wait till next window. Have those options lined up. And again, right, Plasma, any more silly comments, you're just going to go. You're showing now, you're just here to wind us up. A certified flop. I mean, imagine that's not a Spurs fan, ladies and gentlemen, is it? Bobby, so Semenyo will have a choice of top clubs. He isn't big in Tottenham. He will hold off until the summer and replace Salah. Well, I'll tell you what, Bobby, that's a good point. That's a good point. Could it be? Could it be, right, that somebody goes to him and go, listen, we know there's a release clause this January, but we'll come in for you this summer. Wait till the summer. Wait till the summer. We don't know, right? Madrid do it all the time, don't they? Madrid do this all the time. Wait till the summer. Wait until your contract runs down. Yada, yada, yada. Right? So, absolutely. It's going to be, you never know. Listen, I agree. As I've said this all the time. I said this all the time, Bobby, right? If it's only Spurs going in for him or we're up against, I don't know, a Villa or Newcastle, I reckon we've got something we can sell. We go up against Arsenal, Liverpool, City, it suddenly becomes a lot tougher, and we become the weakest link in that chain. And, you know, I watch a lot of channels where I just say, I don't think people are quite realizing the pull that these big football clubs have, Bobby. I feel like that they do. They think it's, oh, I bought him on Football Manager. I bought Semenyo. Now, yeah, we might buy Semenyo, but it's just not that simple. So I'm not putting all my eggs in this basket, right? I'm not putting all my eggs in the Semenyo basket because I think this is going to be a tough sell. I've got no doubt we can put the money down. I'm not worried about that. I think the new owners or the new ownership style at Spurs will put the money down. But that's not all there is to it. Man United, I don't know. Man United could be as well. Listen, again, Man United have that pull. They are Manchester United. As much as we say they don't, they proved it in the summer. Cunha and Buemo. Yeah, Man United. I only want to go Man United, and Buemo said, right? He actually said that, didn't he? I only want to go Man United. Yeah? So we'll see. Big up Sav. Aside from the kid at Monaco, not going to attempt to spell it. I would steer clear from a Lookman or a Fofana and throw money at Anthony Gordon or a Gakpo. I mean, but again, it's this notion of just throwing money at it. The question you've got to ask yourself is, Anthony Gordon, right, has 5 years left on his contract and he's English. This is going to be, imagine getting him. That's going to be a monstrous fee, right? And I think it's, can Spurs go and take a player out of Newcastle? We'll see. How much are Newcastle going to charge for Anthony Gordon? If I'm not wrong, I don't know if someone can check. I believe his contract's got 4.5, 5 years left to run on it. And homegrown. 4.5, 5 years on a contract, you're starting to go, I'd love Anthony Gordon. I think it'd be great for us. But again, I think this is just, I think it's a big ask. It's a big ask. It's a big ask. I'd love, Bobby, I'd love it. Gakpo, I don't know. What's his situation? Does he want to leave Liverpool? Because again, to get a player out of Liverpool, right? To get a player out of Liverpool, they've got to want to leave or be told they're surplus to requirements, right? Because we are a step down from Liverpool. So, I don't know. Gakpo, good player. Is he the out-and-out wide man you need? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Sam Conn said, what happened to the food chain, Sam? Aren't we big in Newcastle? It's all about the vision and direction of the club. So Sam, you're starting to be a troll now. Listen to what I actually said. So can we get a player out of Newcastle? Didn't say we couldn't, right? Didn't say we couldn't. But getting him out of Newcastle is going to cost bucks. He has got 5 years left on his contract, Sam. 5 years on his contract. You don't think they're going to ask for £100 million, right? It might be about a vision and a direction of the club. For you, it might not be for the player. The player might go, cool, but who else you buying? What else are we getting then? This is the difference. Every player is different. Listen, I'd love Anthony Gordon. That's but again, it's going to be massive money. Yeah. Massive money. Massive money. And listen, if Spurs were that club, sure. Isn't our record signing like 58 million, 57 million? And now suddenly we're going to pay 95, 100 million. I just can't see that we would. Can't see that Newcastle would want to let him go. In January as well. I can't see that Newcastle are going to want to let him go so quick after losing Isak. Again, fans don't think about this. See, mate, you've got to stop this. Maybe, depending on who else wants to buy Semenyo. Because Arsenal and Liverpool don't have to convince him with new players. Arsenal and Liverpool are going, look at our squad. Come and join us. We win things. We challenge for titles. I don't understand how one person can be so... There's always one who's really combative. I don't think I've been negative about anything. I'm trying to be realistic over here. I don't think I've... Sorry, anybody, have I said anything negative? This is what I think happens on YouTube, unfortunately. Listen, I'd love to sit here and say we're the greatest club in the world and we can attract any player. But I'll ask everyone in the chat. Tell me a top player we've signed since Rafa van der Vaart. Another question. Since Rafa van der Vaart, name me a player we've gone and got and taken away from one of the big boys, where we went head to head with those clubs for that player. No one can tell me because it hasn't happened, right? And because, yeah, you're right, Chivers, because I talk straight about it, people don't like it. I'd love to sit here and go, yeah, I'm a 20-year-old kid and I believe Spurs will sign anyone, yada, 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 yada. But I've not seen it, right? I've not seen it at all. I've not again, but mate, now you're being a troll. Don't say you love me when you're lying about me. I haven't downplayed ambition. I've not downplayed ambition. Spurs need to show me ambition, right? I am somebody very much that I need to see what other people claim, right? See, but again, look at the state of this. What, we signed a 16-year-old kid. Listen to the question. Name me a top player we signed in front of one of those. Not a kid. We signed him at about the age of 15. I don't care about that. Name me a top player we signed in front of these clubs. Right? I will sit and wait. No one can. Right? Radu Dragusin, people are saying. Radu Dragusin would not have been guaranteed game time at Bayern Munich. Right? So let's see it. As I said, I want to see it. I want to see it. When we see it, in life, anything, when you see something with your eyes get opened to it. But otherwise, what I'm hearing is lots of wishing. And we all wish. You don't sit there, you don't think I sit there and I go, oh, God, I'd love Semenyo. I'd also love us to get Yildiz. And you know what? While we're at it, I'd love this player and I'd love that player. Name me those players. At the moment, I have seen not one person name me someone in the chat. Not one. I'm waiting. Bearing in mind, I don't think we've made a top class signing, real top class signing, since Rafa van der Vaart. Now, that was in 2000 and, someone will tell me I'm wrong, 2010. I don't think since then, I think we've made some good signings and players have gone on to be really good. But who can, no one can give me the name. No one can give me the name. Exactly. And the reason why those kids would rather come to us is because they know they're not going to work their way into those top quality squads, but they will work their way into the Spurs squad because we don't have a top quality squad. But Van der Ven, no one bid for him. And when we signed him, he wasn't world class. And I don't think he's world class now. But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. People talking about Xavi Simons. Chelsea didn't actually bid for Xavi Simons. In the end, Chelsea are the ones that didn't carry the deal forward. So this is my point. When I see it, I will join most of you that are going, oh, you're negative. When I see it. When I see, Semenyo's got 2 offers on the table, Spurs and Liverpool. Who's going to get him? Oh, my God, he chose Spurs. Boom. I'm there. Brilliant. Till I see it, I'm kind of right. Right? Until I see it, I'm kind of right. And this is what happens when you have years and years of mediocre. This is what happens when you have years and years of doing the easy option. Right? When you do the easy option, when you complete the easy option, this is what happens. Right? This is what happens. Now, what Spurs have been good at in the past is getting players like a Berbatov, like a Modric, like a Bale, like a Eriksson, like a Carrick, and getting them from there to there. Now, that's different. I'm not saying we can't do that, but I can't remember the last player we signed where I went, fuck, like, wow, like the Klinsmann deal. I remember when I was younger, we signed Klinsmann, everyone was like, Spurs signed Jurgen Klinsmann. And then in 2010, Spurs signed Rafa van der Vaart. I've not... If someone wants to go back that far, Spurs signed Ricky Villa and Ozzy Ardiles? We've not signed those players. It's not... We haven't had that. So let's see. Is it that Levy wouldn't want to get those players? Or... is it that those players don't want to sign for Tottenham Hotspur? I don't know. We'll see. What I do know, and going back full circle, is if we are up against top clubs, it's going to be very difficult to convince them. Right? Players, more often than not, join the big clubs, whether we like that or not. It's why Barcelona get who they want. It's why Real Madrid get who they want. It's why all those players leave those clubs in Germany and go to Bayern Munich. You know, there's so many examples of this over the years. And it's not just that. It's not just that we don't pay wages. And by the way, our wage structure is going up. All right? I understand, right? And as I said, I've tried to make this channel more mature lately because I really struggle with just how silly people are. I get it, right? Like, I think people like that Sam Collins, people like that Plasma, I get it. They go to school every day because they're children and they say things like, yes, Spurs are the best. We're signing this player. That's great. That's great. I get it. When you're a child like those people are, I get it. But when you've got evidence, I think we need to account for that. And we need to say, right, we want Semenyo. Where's option 2? Where's option 3? Where's option 4? And that's what I think we were really poor with in the summer, weren't we? We were really poor with that. It was kind of like, well, if we didn't get our player, right? If we didn't get our player, it was like, oh, well, we tried. Who's this, Lee? Just say things once and do a 30-minute vlog. Instead, you repeat yourself time after time. Well, why don't you go away then, Lee? Nice and simple. I'll be honest, guys. I'm getting a little bit bored with people constantly telling me what to do on my channel. Go fuck yourselves. I don't care. I'm getting a little bit bored with people like Lee there. I got some blokes they going, oh, you turned the comments off on your video. Terrible. You shouldn't have done that. It's my channel, guys. Don't tell me what to do. Just go and watch someone else. It's really that simple. It's that simple. Not all modern players follow the money. Not all modern players, but you've got to remember most clubs are paying big wages. So, for example, right? For example, Dan, I just can't. I just get so bored with these people that tell you what to do. Go and start your own YouTube channel, right? Start your own YouTube channel. When you say the wage structure is going up, when it just isn't. Son on 200 grand and got replaced by Xavi and Romero for Kane. Well, this summer alone, Spurs paid out over 150 grand a week for 3 different players. Kudus, Paulinho, and 4. Mawani, Kudus, Paulinho, and Simmons. So that is true. Yeah, see, look, now you've got yourself a ban because you're a child. So see you later. So that is true. Collectively, the wage before, we only had Romero, Son on that money. Now, Romero's had a pay increase. Simmons is on big money. Kudus is on good money. Yeah, Paulinho's on good money. Mawani's on good money. Now, we need to see that goes up and up and up and up. How can Ndombele, who left the club a couple of years back, be replaced by Kudus, who joined this summer? Again, listen, if you keep saying silly things, you'll just go as well, right? You'll just go. It's really silly. It's amazing. So many of these so-called Spurs fans that don't know our football club. They just don't. No, I'm not taking Ismail Assar. No, I'm not taking Ismail Assar for 40 million. No, see, I think we need slightly better than that. Good player, but no, I think we can do a lot better than that. We can't just accept missing. Well, we don't have a choice. Again, we don't have a choice. If a player picks Liverpool, Arsenal, or City above us, what do you mean we can't accept that? That's life. That's life. That's like if I'm going to interview at this technology company here or Google or Facebook, and Google and Facebook have got a bigger name and bigger projects, I'm going there, right? That's life. You can't do anything about that. Here you go. There's a question. I bet I don't get a straightforward answer from Reezy. What would you do then? By not accepting it, what does not accepting it look like? So you say, we can't just not accept it. Go on then. What does that mean? What do we do? What are you going to do? Protest because Semenyo picks a bigger club than us? Think about it. Think about it. Really, really think about it. Anton, bang on, mate. Bang on. It's too many. Football Manager has kind of killed people's brain cells into thinking that transfers are easy. Now, if we can go and get right, if we can go and get Semenyo, I'd love it. Yeah. Ndombele left in 23, 24 summer, and we waited a year to go and replace his wages. What? That's not how football. Oh, mate, this guy's got to go for a little bit. You're not offering an alternative view. That's the thing. You're just saying silly things. I see it all the time. You are slowly becoming like that Matt was. You're slowly becoming like that Matt was. I could say it's Tuesday. You'll find me a way to say it's Wednesday. It's just pathetic at this stage. No player has rejected Spurs when we offered the highest wage. I mean, you would have no way of knowing that, would you? What? Big up, John. Yeah, absolutely, mate. We need multiple options. We need multiple options. I don't know what people don't like about that. I just want to know that if we can't get a Semenyo, all I'm saying is I want to know that there's options. Whether it's options that other people like, I want to know that we can get one of the options that Thomas Frank wants. That's the key thing. If Thomas Frank is the one going, yep, these four on my, I like these four. You know, if Lang and Paratici come to him and say, you know, listen, here's a list of 7 or 8 players in that position. Yeah, I like him, don't like him, don't like him, don't like him. I want to know that, okay, there's your number one. Couldn't get him. Right, who are you getting? Have you been talking to them? Have you got something lined up in case option number one doesn't join? And what it felt like in the summer was we were only talking to one at a time, if you remember. It was almost like the Gibbs-White thing went on for a couple of weeks, and then we went dead in the transfer market for a month. So I'm hoping that that's what we're doing. I'm being told it's a new structure, being told this is a new Spurs. Cool. Let's see it then. Let's see it. I just don't want to see, and I know we're going to see it. The moment, if we can't get a Semenyo, I just don't want everyone to be like, oh my God, see, everyone else is crap. We do this all the time. And I just think that there's so many out there. But he's not going to come out to it. No, I don't want to see my manager do it in public. I want my manager to be doing this behind the scenes, right? I want my manager doing this behind the scenes. Too many people want everything in public. I don't want it in public. I don't want all the dirty washing in public. Plasma, mate, you're about to be blocked. You don't challenge my views. You just say stupid shit. There are people who challenge my views. David R. doesn't agree with everything I say, but he challenges my views and we talk. Same with Bryce. Same with Paul Langley. Right? Same with Tom. Right? Same with Kip. Same with Ryan G. The problem is everyone's seen what you do. You don't challenge my views. Right? You just say dumb shit over and over and over again. Right? And it's stupid. You just say dumb shit. Right? Just talk football. Sam, I'm not angry. I'm not triggered. I'm not 12. As I've said, everything I've said tonight, you say the opposite. And then you bring up, oh, but we replaced Ndombele with Kudus. It's like, it's dumb stuff. Yeah? Listen, there's loads of shitty Spurs channels. Go and watch them. There's loads of shitty Spurs channels where they just want to talk shit. Go and watch them. All right? Yeah, I think one of these people is possibly Matt. Again, I saw him last night. Tried to watch the Spurs 5. Went in the chat. Jesus Christ. Matt telling everyone I've lied and he's blocked when he's not and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, a beautiful goal by Wales, by the way. That was a beautiful goal. They're now 4-1 up. I think that was, is that James? Dan James? Beautiful goal by Wales. Big up Darren said, evening Sava fans need to realise that the player decides where he wants to go. Wages don't always come into agreed. Agreed, mate. And this is what I've tried to get across to people, and I'm just told it's purely the wages. My point is this, Darren, right? If Spurs, City, Arsenal and Liverpool are all going in for a player, what makes anybody think we can offer higher wages than those clubs? Maybe the same, but higher? I don't know. Let me know some guys and girls in the chat. Give me some names. No. So your subs are dropping, bro. Need to be more decent with viewers. It's YouTube. I don't know who you are, but my subs aren't dropping. They've been the same for a while now, man. I do less and less content. Yeah, man, I've seen him. Yeah, Matt's always everywhere lying. Did you see him last night? Sava said this. Sava said, it's like, no, he didn't. Sava blocked me. Yeah, because everyone in my chat knew you were a troll. Since been unblocked. But we'll see. It is funny, man. It is funny. So let me know names. Let me know names and we'll go through them. Let me know names and we'll go through them. Right? Let me know names. We'll go through them. Everyone's going to have different types of names, right? But I will challenge people if they come out with, like, when people go, get me Bowen, get me Gordon. Cool. That's fine. But now let's break it down. How achievable is that? How obtainable is that player? What are the salaries going to look like? How long have they got on their contract? Yada, 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 right? All of these questions that need to be asked. Do they want to move to London? You know, are they, I mean, look, we had the whole thing with Morgan Gibbs-White. His wife was, his partner was pregnant, right? And all of these different things that get factored in. And then you've just got smart asses going, well, just do this. It's like, yeah, but it's not always the case. And I'm going to recommend at the end of this show some podcasts for people to watch of agents talking about this, because I find them fascinating. I really find them fascinating. If you actually watch what agents say about it, it backs up what most sensible people say. But it's the people in the chat that just say silly things that you think, yeah, they've never really watched it, have they? And Ben Foster does a really good show. He does a really good show with Richard Lee, the goalkeeper super agent, so to speak, and they talk in detail about all of the different metrics before a player wants to move, and they literally turn around and go, "It's not always about money," but you've got fans going, "Now just pay the money," and it's not. It's not. Tom has given a list of names. Let's have a look. Paqueta, Tony, Rashford, Robinson, Rodgers, Gallagher, Tillemans, Quansah, McTominay. I'd take all of those except for Quansah. Only my opinion. I'd take all of those except for Quansah, if I'm going to be brutally honest. I like Gallagher. I think he's got a great engine on him, gets around the pitch. Good tackling, good passing. Paqueta, good player. Tony, I think is definitely a type of striker that we need. Rashford, I've never understood the irrational hate for Rashford. Lots of people, again, he's, you know, wanting to talk about his personality, this, that, the other. He's turned around and said, didn't he? He said, Hansi Flick put his arm around me and told me what he wants from me, and he's delivering, right? And would I take Morgan Rodgers all day long? I think any chance you get the opportunity to sign quality players, you would take them. Tielemans, I think Tielemans is an interesting one because he's another player. When a couple of years ago, when he was on a free, our fans sat there, didn't they, going, oh, Tielemans. I think Tielemans is a really good passer of the ball. Might not be the big glamorous name that everyone wants, but he does that job in the middle of the park. I definitely want him as one of my central midfield options. I definitely want him as one of my central midfield options. Why would you take Rodgers? Why would I not want to take quality players? I think Rodgers can play off the left. He can play central in attacking midfield. I just want good players. Spurs need good players. We need a lot of players. I think this is a very lightweight squad. I did see Wales. I did see Brennan Johnson's goal. Yep, I did indeed see Brennan Johnson's goal. It was very, very good. Anderson, great player. Can't see us getting him. Absolutely. I think this is it, mate. This is it. This is it. All people are different, aren't they? Some people need a kick up the arse. Others need an arm around the shoulder and someone to say, come on, I believe in you. We know how talented you are. Let's see it. Let's see it. And let's be fair. If Marcus Rashford is good enough to play for Barcelona, how on earth are we in a position where we would be going, no, we wouldn't want him? I completely agree. Completely agree. Listen, are you telling me right now, Dan, if we turn around and went, Spurs are signing Morgan Rodgers, we'd find a negative to Spurs signing Morgan Rodgers? And that's what I said. You know, when I said to you about that Sam Collins just wants to be different. Again, even if I say I'd want to sign a quality player like like Morgan Rogers. Oh, why would you want Morgan? You can't win. You genuinely can't win with trolls. You can't win. Paul has said that's where Ange gets some credit. He put the arm around Spence. I disagree. He was the first one to drop Jed Spence when Udogie came back. And for me, Spence was worse when Udogie came back because he dropped him. So I'm going to disagree on that one, Paul. By the way, see how me and Paul disagree without anyone being rude. We have plenty of space. Sorry, do Man City not have space for all of their attacking midfielders and all of their left wingers? It's called having a squad. It's called having a squad. Yeah, and also he dropped him from the European squad, didn't he? So I'm not having that with Jed Spence. Jed Spence got Ange out of a predicament. I'm not having that at all. I'm not having that he put his arm around him. No. So I'm not having that. Not on that one. Let's have a look if there's some other players. I think we should get 2 loanees unless a serious quality players available in Jam. Scope the transfer market. Anton, that's going to be the interesting thing. We've got to take that into account. Players, will they move in January? Some will, many won't. Right? It's midway through a season. It's a World Cup year. Now, maybe you've got a player thinking, I'm not getting games where I am. Do I need to resurrect my World Cup chances? Okay, I'll move. Other people going, hang on. I'm doing really well here. I'm in my national team. I'm in my club team. Do I want to move, ruin that flow, go to a new club, settle in somewhere else, up, move house, move country, all of these different things. So we're gonna see, right? We're gonna see, but maybe in the summer, players will move more freely, and that's why. Well, you see more in the summer, right? Where are we? Brent Johnson has been sensational tonight. He should be very confident next week. Yeah, I've heard this before, David. At the weekend, I bet you he forgets how to control a football. We'll see. Mitoma, lots of people talking about Mitoma. I like Mitoma. I think he's a good footballer. I think more than anything, I want some balance. I want to know that I've got a good winger on either side. I want options. I don't want it to be like people who say, well, we don't need an attacking. I think we need a lot. I think we need wingers, midfielders, attacking midfielders, strikers, a left centre back, a left back. I think we need so much in this squad, right? We need so much in this squad. This is one of the weakest squads I've seen in the last 20 years. And I'll tell you why it's one of the weakest, right? I'll tell you why it's one of the weakest. Because this is the first time in 11 seasons that we have not had Kane or Son. And Kane and Son, for me, for many, many seasons, papered over what was a very average side with those two in it. You can have an average side and a Kane and a Son. And Kane and Son will paper over it because they will win you games on their own. They will score goal after goal after goal. Even if the team aren't playing well, even if the team is attacking or defensive or poor at the back, poor in the middle. We don't have that. And I'll tell you what, I did some filming today, guys. I did some filming. And the video will be out, I'm guessing, in the next couple of days. I did some filming today with Troops. You all know Troops, the Arsenal content creator. Top lad. Really enjoyed meeting him. And it was difficult because me and him having the chat live made me realize that where have our difference makers gone? And he was saying, as an Arsenal fan, they were worried about Kane. They were worried about Son. There's no one now they look at. I don't just mean Arsenal. There's no one that rival clubs look at and say, cool, they've got boom, boom, boom. Do you know what I mean? There's no, teams will look at Liverpool, have done for years. Oh, Salah will score. Salah gets 30, 35 a season. And now there aren't. We don't have it. We have some good players, but this is the weakest I think I've seen in terms of a collective of midfielders and forwards. I think we're stronger at the back than we've been for a long time. But it's all gone arse about face, hasn't it? It's gone arse about face. We've got some good defenders in the squad, but stopped buying really good forwards, stopped buying really good wingers. Now, yeah, we got Kudus in the summer, there's one. But if I take Kudus out of this squad, I look at the right winger options. I look at the left winger options. I look at the striker options. And I just go, what is there? And that's the difference. In the last 10 years, not so much the last couple of years, but in the last 10, 11 years, you've had Kane and Son together. And whether one of them played or both of them played, you knew out of nothing, boom. You go, oh gosh, we've been crap today, but look at that 20-yarder from Kane. We've been crap today, but look at that solo goal or that 20-yarder from Son. We haven't got that. We haven't got that. And that, for me, is why I think we have got a lot of work to do. Doesn't mean we've not got some good footballers. Doesn't mean we've not got some good young players. Doesn't mean that some of our players won't learn and grow and develop. But right now, I look at this squad and think, I'm not inspired. I'm not inspired. I look at this squad and say, yeah, we're going to work hard. We're going to be a workman-like team. Thomas Frank will get the best out of them, which he has. But I look at it and go, is anyone going to do anything on the pitch where I go, core, look at him? I don't think so. And if they do, is it a one-off or are they doing it week in, week out? And I mean, if somebody could tell me how many goals between Kane and Son have they scored for Spurs in the last 11 years? And you tell me now how we've replaced that. I'll tell you how we replaced it, right? This is what we've done. 39 million for Matisse Tell, right? 56 million for Dominic Solanke. 26 million for Odegaard. 48 million for Johnson, 13 million Valise, 51 million Richarlison, 22 million for Hill. You name me one of those that gets in at Chelsea, City, Liverpool or Arsenal, even Newcastle. And that's where we're at. We've gone from Kane and Son to that. Now, by the way, what I just read out, I'll tell you what, would anyone like to have a guess? What I've just read out, what I just read out, anyone want to tell me how much money those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players cost between them? I've just worked it out. Let's divide it, right? All right. Anybody want to have a guess? How much those 7 wingers and strikers cost between them? And bearing in mind, we've gone from Son and Kane to those 7. Tom Kingham's gone with 200 million. 200, 240, 215, 200. Anybody else? Everyone going in and around the 200 mark? Mad, isn't it? Think about that list. Tell, Solanke, Odegaard, Johnson, Valise, Richarlison, and Gill. Right? Now, I don't think I've missed anyone off in the last 4 years as to who we've bought. But those lot cost 290 million. 290 million pounds. And I don't look at any one of them and go, yeah, you're really good. I don't look at one of them. Not one of those 7 I've mentioned Not one of those 7 I mentioned gets in the Pochettino squad. Right? And this is why, when fans want to break it down, we don't play exciting football. Sure, well, why don't we buy some exciting players? Do you know what I mean? Why don't we, take risks? We'll buy players that take risks. I don't know. Can anyone tell me how many those 7 players have scored between them for Tottenham Hotspur? Hill, Ritchie, Valise, Johnson, Gray. Sorry, not Gray. Odegaard, Solanke and Tell. 290 million. It's mad. And the reason I'm saying that is, by the way, for anyone asking, Archie Gray is officially gone down as £35 million. Kane and Son. But again, Reezy, they don't. They don't. Look at the huge drop-off. This is how I know he's a troll. I know he's a troll. This is the problem, right? This is the problem. You've gone from Kane, and then Kane leaves, and you're thinking replace him. And we didn't. And then a year later, you buy Solanke. Son's left, and you're thinking replace him. And we didn't. Unless you're counting Matisse Tell. And these aren't little drop-offs, are they? This isn't, Kane, Solanke's not quite. These are monumental drop-offs. So I'll bring it back to the conversation I was having with Troops today. The drop-off is huge. So you think while Arsenal are buying better and better and better and better and better, we've been buying worse and worse and worse and worse. You think of where Spurs and Arsenal were in that Poch era, the year where we were invincible, right? They've gone like that, and we've gone like that. And that's got to change. But Reezy, so name me, okay, so which one of those 7 is a top footballer? There you go. As I said, it's not out yet. It was only recorded today. It was recorded today. It won't be out yet. Which of those 7 that I named is a top player, a top Premier League footballer? Not even saying Kane and Son's level. Name me one of those that is a top player. Right? Tell, Solanke, Odegaard, Johnson, Valise, Richarlison, Hill. Not one of them. The proof is there. The proof is in the pudding. And again, still, this is what I mean. We'll have fans that want to, great goal that, whoever scored that. Was that Wilson? Great free kick. We'll have fans that want to defend that. But you start talking about Rashford, and they go, no. I'd have Rashford over every single one of those players I just mentioned. Wouldn't you? Can anyone tell me, is there any player in those 7 I've mentioned that you wouldn't want? Right? That you would want over Rashford. By the way, I'm not saying buy Rashford. I'm just using him as an example. Is there one of them? It's mad. So when people say to me, like, should we be here? We should be challenging for 4th. We should be. I'm looking at the squad and going, what are you seeing? The drop-off is monumental. The drop-off is so big, like so big. You think, Son, the drop-off is now Odegaard. Kane, the drop-off is either Ritchie or Solanke, right? You look at it. Walker, the drop-off is to Porro. Nowhere near as good. Right, Moussa Dembele, we've never replaced him. The drop-off is mad. Absolutely mad. And it just opened my eyes today. The more we were talking about it, and, we're having a good chat. It wasn't a stupidly heated debate or anything. And so this has proved my point, Reezy. You've said I can't win with that list. I do think Tenloader will come good in a year or so. So you basically agree with what I was saying, but you just wanted to be different. This is what I mean, people, right? This is what I mean. And yeah, and this is when you speak to other fan bases, speak to the fan bases and ask them, were you scared of Son and Kane? You scared of any of our forwards now? The only one that will remotely scare them, and he can't do it by himself, is Kudus. But Kane and Son were top-class players who won this club games and points on their own. Yeah, Paul, absolutely. Absolutely. Loris to Vicario, huge drop-off, in my opinion. I've said many times, right? If I take that 11, right? If I take that 11 of Lloris, Walker, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, and Rose, Dembele and Wanyama, Ericsson, Son, Ali, and Kane, I don't think one of them from this team gets in. Not one. I don't think, and this is why I think, I'm not knocking it, this is why I think it's going to take time. That's why I think we need to build. That's why I think all these people complaining when we're fifth, oh, I don't like the style of play, and if he keeps playing like this, look at the standard of the footballers. You think, I don't see what Adogie's done to get in above Danny Rose, if I'm honest. I don't know what he's done. He spent most of his 2.5 years here injured. Yeah, and this is the problem. It's the problem. Like, people talk about Van der Ven and Romero, but Vertonghen and Alderweireld were the best were one of the best back twos in Europe for a couple of years. So, unfortunately, I know people don't want to hear truths. I know people think it's negative, but this is why I said in the summer, I thought it was negligent. I said that a million times, right? I thought it was completely negligent to not buy anywhere near what we needed. People have gone overboard about players like Mawani. Listen, I do think Simmons will come good, but I think he needs time. But I just think we've got to be careful what we expect from this football team. I really do. I think too many are expecting more than these players are able to offer. As I said, when Spurs line up, I never ever go, God, we're going to terrorise the shit out of that back four, because I don't think the players are good enough. Maybe when Maddison's back and Kulu's back and they're playing with Simmons and Kudus and Mawani, maybe. Right now, no. Sure, but I'm just trying to make the point that if that is the case, then people need to get off Frank's back. You are one of the worst. Because you love that Ange so much, you're one of the worst. This team could get top 5. I don't think it has a God-given right to get top 5 at all. I don't think it has a God-given right to get top 5. I genuinely don't think the squad is that great. I think it's got a lot of kids. It's very lightweight. No creativity, no ball players. There's not one top striker. But I'm still watching shows and people are talking as though we've got this brilliant squad that should be playing free-flying football. And I don't see it. And I've not changed my mind. I think anyone who's watched me over the years, I've said this for a while now, said we'd not done enough. What we needed in the summer was bring in Kudus. Yes. Bring in Simmons. Yes. Replace Son. Replace Kane. Bring those players in as well. Don't just do a couple of players leave, couple of players come in. Replace and build onto the squad. Let me do some super chats. Big up to Daniel Field with a super sticker. Big up, Daniel. Very generous indeed. Thank you very much, my man. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you, Daniel. Much appreciated. Big up to Jamie Allen. So keep up the good work, Sava. You provide mature content for guys like me. Lots of YouTubers just want to banter, joke around, and bring up dumb convos. I don't get how people are frank out. Yeah, listen, I think, Jamie, that's the one thing I think I've tried to do on this channel is I want to have football conversations. I hate these silly idiots that say things like, he's washed. I mean, what does that mean? So stupid. He's shit. He's washed. It's like, oh my gosh. Like, just, I don't want to be talking to those people. I want to have proper football conversations. It's why I don't go on the panel shows anymore. I don't like all of that. My dad's bigger than your dad nonsense. I find it really boring. So thank you very much, Jamie. I really do appreciate you, my man. And then Paul Langley coming as well with a super sticker. Thank you, Paul. Really appreciate you, my man. You're always very generous, as is Daniel Field, as is Jamie Allen. Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate that. And listen, I just don't think there's anything wrong with having some mature football conversation. I've got really bored of the constant Frank Ange thing. I've got really bored. I think we've done it to death. I did it at first. I think now, like, we are so far gone. Ange is gone. Frank's here. Like, can we just, just get into it? I've just got so bored with this need to sack a manager every 10 games. I think it's a bit silly. But it is what it is. Listen, guys, I'll be back in the next couple of days as we lead up to the North London derby. I'll be honest, I am a little bit concerned. Troops and I today did a Spurs Arsenal combined 11 for the North London derby game. And it didn't make for pretty reading. I can assure you of that. And unfortunately, that's where we are at the moment. That's where we are. So it is what it is. Listen, guys and girls, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you very much. I'm going to send you over to Sean, to Rabbit Hole Ramblings, his new channel, talking about all things conspiracy. If you like that type of thing, then join him. Watch, subscribe, like the show, and just type in Sava Raid. Thank you very much, guys, especially all the sensible ones. Take care. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.